Hello children, today we are going to discuss reproduction in plants. First, what is reproduction? The process of producing young ones from their parents is known as reproduction. Plants reproduce through asexual, vegetative and bisexual means. So there are three modes of reproduction: asexual, vegetative and sexual. First children, we are going to discuss about asexual reproduction. What is asexual reproduction? The formation of a new plant from the cells of a single parent is called asexual reproduction. Children, you are aware of cells. Asexual reproduction is the simplest form of reproduction found in plants. It is again of three types. One by one we will discuss. First is budding. Second is fragmentation, and third is through spores. Okay, so first we are going to discuss by budding. What is budding, children? Microscopic organism such as yeast. Children, all you must have heard about yeast. Okay, it is single celled and it is available in the market. You can buy and see it. Okay, in grocery shop it is available. Microscopic organisms such as yeast reproduce asexually by budding method. In this process, a small bulb-like cellular outgrowth called bud is formed. Okay, like this is yeast. We can see this. Children, you can do the activity. What you can do, if you want to observe budding in the yeast, first I am going to tell you what is budding. What happened? This is yeast. When it gets the favorable condition, outgrowth takes place. And this is its nucleus. This is its nucleus. This also start dividing. Okay, what happened in 2-3 stages, and last stage is what? This nucleus also elongated, and in this half part of the nucleus goes there and half is here, and two individual yeast are formed. So you have seen from one cell two cells have been formed. So this is what? Asexual reproduction. Okay, this bud keeps on increasing in size and forms an independent organism which separates from the parents. And in this, these two daughter cells are formed. What do we say? Daughter cells. These are individual cells and then they grow again when they become mature. Okay, children? You can do the activity. What you do, you take warm water in a bowl and add little sugar, dissolve the sugar in the bowl and add 1 spoon of this yeast in this, and you will find after 15 or 20 minutes you add half a spoon. You will find it increases in number. Why it is increases in number? Because it got the favorable condition. What? Warm water, warmth. Food is sugar. Okay, warmth, sugar and water. Water is what? Moisture. So these things are important for the growth of the cell. And this grow and this multiply from one to many. Now we are coming to the second one. Second is fragmentation. Children, fragmentation takes place in algae. Algae generally found in ponds and stagnant water. It is very common form of fragmentation. what happened? Some algae such as Spirogyra. I am taking the example of Spirogyra. Children, this is filamentous. This is filamentous. You can find it in the pond and all. It is like this. You can see the filament. Okay. Small plants seen floating on the surface of ponds or in dirty drains. In this process, what happened? This filament, when we will observe it under the microscope, or we see it, this structure is like this. Okay. These fragments are there, and these are the bands of chlorophyll. Okay. So what happened when these bands, they get matured? When they get matured, they break from here. Okay. One fragment, two fragment, and now they behave like individual and they grow. Okay. Two or more pieces called fragments. Each of these fragments grows up to become a new plant. Okay. Now this is individual and it grow up into a new plant. New fragment will form in this. Okay. Third is spore formation. Third is spore formation. Children, very nice example is mold. Okay, you have seen bread molds and all. Some plants such as ferns and mosses also, they multiply asexually through spore formation. Children, there is one plant we call that fern. If it is there in your home, you can see the leaves are like this. Okay. And at the back of these leaves, you can see several spores are attached. Okay. And these spores, what happen when these spores, what are spores? They are ball-like structure. Inside these cells, the baby is there, embryo is there, we say. Okay, not embryo, like cell is there, one cell, single celled structure, because asexual reproduction we are studying. So single cell is, this is single celled structure and covered by thick covering. Why this thick covering is there? What happened? These spores, they fall down. They are, as I told you, attached at the back side. They fall down in the soil. Okay. And when they get this spore, it is lying in the soil. When favorable conditions will come, favorable conditions, like if it will, when it will get favorable condition for itself, like moisture is there and temperature is there proper and food is there, then what will happen? Temperature and moisture, two important things. This outer covering will dissolve and the cell is exposed and a new plant is going to form from this spore. Okay. So I told you spores are microscopic, but we cannot see it. They are microscopic, single-celled or several-celled reproductive bodies that are mostly spherical in shape. They are protected by thick wall when conditions are favorable. Okay, germination takes place. These spores burst out of thick wall, start multiplying and grow into a new plants. Okay, so asexual reproduction is over. Now we are coming to the vegetative one. Very interesting. Vegetative reproduction is very interesting. What is vegetative reproduction? In some plants, vegetative parts like root, stem, leaf, these are what? Vegetative parts. Okay. They can be used to produce a new plant. That reproduction is called vegetative reproduction. Okay. Now we are dividing vegetative. Now it is clear, vegetative part, a new plant reproduced from the vegetative part is called vegetative reproduction. We are dividing it into two parts: natural methods and artificial method. First we are going to the natural methods. Okay. Most plants reproduce naturally without the involvement of human beings. Children, in the garden you see propagation of the plant is taking place. Very good example is grass. Okay, I will come to that. Okay, they do so with the help of stem, roots and leaves. First we will take the example of roots. Okay. Tuberous roots. Tuberous roots means the roots which are fleshy. Like you have seen sweet potato. Children, in Hindi we call it shakarkan. Okay, it is like this. This is root. Sweet potato, asparagus, this is one of the one very beautiful plant, and the roots of asparagus they are also like this, and roots of dahlia also. Nowadays dahlia is there in our garden. We can see when the flowers are over, we can take out these roots and we can see the roots of dahlia are like this. Okay. What happened, like these, when the plants gets matured and the roots are there, these roots either we allow them, like we keep them in the soil, okay, or we take it out and store it somewhere. And when the suitable season will come again, like for dahlia, as I know that after March it starts drying up, the plants dry up. Okay, means it cannot grow in summer season. So that time we take out the roots and we preserve these roots somewhere. And when the suitable season like winter will start, September, October, then we sow this root. Small plants will, when it gets the suitable condition, small plantlets start coming from this. Okay, these roots have food stored in them. So this baby plant get the food from this root. So propagation from root in natural way. I have given you 3 examples: dahlia, asparagus and sweet potato. Now we are coming to the stem. Stem, children, very good example is grass. Grass is very good example. Children, you must have seen, or like in future you pay attention, whenever gardener sow the grass in the garden, he keeps the gap. Okay, and after some time you find the whole garden is filled with the grass. How? This is root. What happened? This is the stem, and the stem is very fragile. Okay, it moves along the ground. And you know, stems, they are having nodes and internodes. The nodes are places from where a new branch comes out. Okay, so the node of this grass plant, what happened? It is touching the ground. Some roots come out from the nodes, and these roots are called adventitious roots. Okay, and new plant start growing from here. So this node here, the roots are coming out from the stem, and it has made a new plant. Okay? Stems are the most common parts involved in vegetative reproduction. Like by stem cutting, in artificial method we will discuss about that. But in many plants we can see that the vegetative reproduction takes place by this stem. Okay, vegetative propagation through stem. I am going to tell you some examples. Grass I told you. Okay. One more example is oxalis. You do not know about this plant, okay, but grass all you know. New shoots, as I told you, grow upward, forming a new plant at frequent interval. Okay, this way the whole ground is covered by the grass. In plants such as mint and chrysanthemum, mint, children, you can also grow. In that also, propagation of plant takes place by stem. Mint in Hindi we call it pudina. Okay. Horizontal stems arise. This is what mint. Now next time children, when you buy mint, what you do, when you take the leaves out from the mint plant, sticks or plant, what you do, take the stem and put in the soil. Okay, what happened? The roots are there. Horizontal stem arise from the base of the shoot. This is shoot, this is base. Horizontal stem is arising. Okay, grow horizontally in the soil. Okay, this is horizontally. ठीक है, arise from the base. यहाँ से it arise. Base of the erect shoot, grow horizontally in the soil and then come out to form new aerial shoot. So one stem you are sowing, after some time you are finding there are many plants, small plants of mint are there. Okay, so this is what by stem, vegetative propagation by stem. These shoots become independent plants when stems break away from the parents. Like plant ये अलग हो जाता है, they break away and now they are individual plant, and from them also, from the base again aerial shoots come out. Okay, some plants have arched stems which cross over small obstacles and develop small plantlets as their nodes, like Vallisneria and strawberry. Strawberry also, it grows like this. How come? I am just telling you one more example by stem propagation strawberry. Like this is a strawberry plant. Okay. What happened? One of the branch it arcs and touches the ground. Same manner from the nodes of this plant. Nodes, which part? Nodes. The adventitious roots develop and this part of the stem will grow as a separate plant. Okay. Now some plants have stems that grow underground. Now we are coming to the underground stems. These are the stems, aerial stems. Now we are going to discuss underground stem. Underground stems, children, you know, onion, garlic, ginger. So some plants have stems that grow underground. They are mostly solen. Why? They store food. This food is used by new plants to grow. The different types of underground stems are, first is rhizomes. First example of underground stems, rhizomes. Example of rhizomes are ginger. What is the example? Ginger. Children, as I told you, a new leaf comes out from the node. In ginger, children, all you must have seen, this is irregular in shape. But you have seen one thing, the lines. The different types of underground stems are rhizomes, bulbs, tubers and corms. First we are going to discuss rhizomes, and example of rhizomes is ginger. They have buds from which outgrowth are produced, which these are the outgrowth, and we call it bud, which give rise to a new plant. Okay, from this a new plant, from this is underground, and from this bud new plant come out. This is underground stem. How we come to know this is a stem? Because there are lines are there. These lines are what? Nodes. These lines are nodes. Now come to the second example of underground stem is bulbs. Children, example, onion. All you have seen onion. When we cut it, there are you can see this is a stem of onion. These are roots. This is scaly leaves. These are which we eat. They are what? Scaly leaves. Why are these leaves are white? Just because they are under the ground. Okay, and this comes out when it gets the favorable condition. Sometime you have seen in onion a small spring like this plant comes out when it gets the favorable condition, and in these scales food is stored. Okay, this growing plant take the food from its scaly leaves. So in which season you can see? In the spring. Nowadays spring season you can see in the onion. In the spring season, when a new plant shoot up from the center of the scale cluster, it gets its food from these scaly leaves. Okay, now third example is tubers. Tuber, very good example is of tubers is potato. Children, all you have seen potato. There are eyes are there. These eyes are what? Nodes. And children, in plants, all you know, where are the stem? The nodes are there. Aerial stem, the nodes are there. From these nodes, a new branch comes out and leaves comes out. Same way, from these nodes, these buds, sometimes you have seen green buds, they come out. And when it gets the favorable condition, it forms a plant. Okay. If we cut it and sow it in the soil, a new plant will come out, and it gets food from this potato. The stored food is there in the potato. This growing plant takes food from the potato. Now fourth is corms. What are corms? Example of corms is gladiolas. Children, all you have seen is stick of gladioli. We give bouquets. Okay, that stick is called gladiolus stick, and this grows when we take the corm of gladiolus and put in the soil. The stick comes out. You can also grow in your home. They are lot in this. What happened? So many rhizomes are there. Okay, this is one, and many rhizomes are joined together and they form what? Corms. They form what? Corms. And these they develop into a new plant. Okay, so they are corms. Example of corms is gladiolus. Now children, we are coming to the next vegetative part is leaf. Very good example of leaf is bryophyllum. Very common. There are many plants from which a new plantlets come out from their leaves, but one very good example is bryophyllum. Children, the leaves are, this bryophyllum leaf is like this. The notches are there in the leaves. These are what? Notches. From these notches, a new plantlets come out. Okay. And what happens when this plantlet is matured? And we also call it a small adventitious bud. We also call it adventitious bud. These buds grow into a new plant when the leaf fall from the parent when this part become mature and fall from this, and this plant drop in the soil and becomes a new plant. Okay children, so that's all for today. Bye bye.